All right. And here we go. So, whoa. No, oh, we don't want to do that. Just right. No, I don't want to do that. Let's see if that works. Okay, there we go. I have solved the problem. Okay. Miriam is here. All right, let's go. All right.
Sorry, where's the PowerPoint?
The PowerPoint should be in Moodle. Should always, everything should always be in Moodle. All right, welcome everybody to the last of the fall training sessions. It is a small crew tonight, that is no problem, right? Today is a working session, so it's gonna be a quick presentation and then you've got time to work on whatever you need to work on. Just more detail, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about Moodle feedback. If anybody wants a topic review, I'm happy to go through anything. Otherwise, I'm gonna walk you through the IRS test a little bit, just some best practices, plan for tonight, bad questions. Then we're gonna talk about what happens after the test, volunteer paperwork, and tax clinics sign up. You are going to have to take these tests in, maybe not in order. Standards of conduct, intake interview, you might be able to do those in different orders, but you have to get those through before you can take the foreign student test. We are not going to switch to resident tonight. Tonight is only about non-resident. We are doing another remote session tomorrow night for theoretically for taking the resident test. But if you didn't get to it tonight and you want to take the non-resident test tomorrow, that's totally fine. You can just send me an email. I'll send you the link and it'll be like this again. It'll be just practice. I will set up a breakout room. So if somebody has a question online, send me a chat. We will go in there and that way you can ask me questions and I can tell you things without having to tell everybody. So everybody has been fabulous at sending in their volunteer availability. I really do appreciate that. It's very interesting to see. I was quite surprised. So Monday and Tuesday evenings turned out to be kind of the most popular, but Wednesday, Thursday also worked well. There was a surprising number of Friday evenings available. I was very surprised about that, but that's okay. I'm still not going to set anything up for then. And then Saturday afternoons were also kind of a pretty big favorite. So what that says is there's a lot of availability for people. And so we've got a whole lot of dates. So hopefully there's a bunch that works for everyone. Feedback from the form. So from all of the people that have been submitting their form so far, as I was talking with one of the volunteers right before the class, right? One of the really important things that we do as volunteers is we help our clients determine their treaty income and get it reported properly. Income documents do not always match. I would say income documents do not often match what treaty benefits are. So that is one of the big things that we do is help all of our clients get all of that money that they shouldn't have to pay taxes on. So as you go through this, think of it, every row is going to be a different type of income. Look at all of your income documents that you have, sum those up to get a total amount of income, find out what their treaty exempt income is and subtract that. And then everything else is going to get reported as taxable. Is kind of the general process for it. So hopefully you've got some practice at that. You will get lots more practice at that before we actually talk to any clients here. As a reminder, so bank interest is not taxable for non-resident aliens. Remember, the income document does not determine what happens with the income. For bank interest in particular, it is not taxable. It is not reportable. It doesn't go anywhere on the forms. When we fill out the forms, we're going to round to whole dollars. So 49 cents or less goes down, 50 cents or more goes up. You also, it won't be an issue when we're in the software, but for our purposes, you don't need to do any commas, no decimal places, nothing like that, just strictly integer numbers. If you are ever trying to assemble a real tax return, in the upper right corner, there is a sequence number. And that will tell you like what is the order the IRS wants things to be in for the tax return. And then finally, a 0 is as good as a blank. A blank is assumed to be a 0. So if on the forms, you don't have to write 0 for everything, you can just leave them blank and we'll know that that is a 0. All right, volunteer progress and training. So I am a data geek, I really admit it. So if you look at this, this is the progression over time, how people have done. So as you move through the training, your information and your numbers move to the right. So this was our first week, then our second week, and now our third week. So if we go back through those again, you can see first week, there were lots of people that hadn't done anything. People were definitely starting to get more involved. And now the third week, another big jump, started doing stuff. We've got kind of a second distribution out there that's made some really good progress, which I'm guessing is most of you guys here tonight. So thank you for all of that hard work. It's really great to see. So I will say, despite that, I am going to generally recommend that it is a best practice to get through the practice scenarios before you try to take the IRS test. You can do it right away if you want to. I'm not going to stop you. You guys are adults. But you will be more prepared if you go through that work. Before you take that test, you should be comfortable preparing the forms. You should be comfortable researching a topic in your 4011, using the IRS website, IRS publications, forms, or instructions. So again, if you guys want time to work on Moodle course stuff tonight, that's totally fine. I will grade anything that comes in that I see in between answering any questions. So, are there any topics that anybody would like a review on? All right. Then let's talk about the test. Okay, so the test is open book, open note. There is no time limit. It is not open friend, right? You are not going to be there with, well, maybe your friend will be there every tax clinic to help you as well. But for this purpose, we need you to do it on your own. But you've got all of the resources. You've got all of the presentations that we've done. We've got the publications. We've got all of the IRS websites and resources as well. There are some useful links on the Moodle reference pages, so take a look at those. If you have any questions, you're welcome to send me an email or message or chat in our meeting. You can do a direct chat to me and we can talk about things. I am not going to give you any answers, but I will help you find the answers, just like I'm going to do at a tax clinic, right? Because I want to help you learn to be successful on your own. I don't want to answer that same question 50 times for you. I want you to be able to do it yourself as well. All right. After you take the test, you will get a chance to review all of your answers. The new system is very painful for this. It used to be, it would give you like a summary page and you could just copy it. It was awesome. Now it basically goes through a question at a time. You have to click through each of the questions to see how you did. I would encourage you to do that when you get to the end. Review, make a note, take a screenshot of the questions that you got wrong. So you can go back, do a little bit more research and figure out what the right answer should have been. You can do that review button, but once you hit that close button, that red button, you cannot go back into your test anymore. It is locked, it is gone. As I found out to my horror, you cannot go back to give some feedback on things. As a reminder, so if you don't pass the first time, they will have you do a retest and the questions are slightly different. They're generally going to be close, but they might be something like switching the true false around or going from a multiple choice to a true false or back. So don't just put the same answers and blaze through it because that will definitely cause a fail. Review your topics for any incorrect questions. And I would encourage you to consider taking it again relatively quickly while that information is really fresh in your mind, because we've gone over a lot, right? This is like training for a marathon. You've built up your tax knowledge. You want to strike while that iron is hot and you've got everything in your head. If by some chance you don't pass the foreign student test, you can still volunteer with us. You can't do tax returns, but you can still help. And we do need people that are not just tax volunteers. So if that does happen to you, I would still love to talk to you. I would still really, really like it if you could come help us because we still need your help too. All right. The IRS is not the greatest at writing questions. So sometimes there can be multiple answers that seem right. Ask yourself which of them seems most right if you kind of run into that situation. Sometimes they'll ask you one question and then later on there'll be another question that'll sort of give you the answer to an earlier question. Look out for those. That's like free money. You might as well take it. And sometimes they're really badly worded, right? Can he file? The answer is it true, false? Well, that's not really a true, false question, right? So make it into he can file. Is that true or false? So give them a little bit of grace there. And now to the not so much grace. So, oops, whoa, we have 5 bad questions. It's doing my thing. I'm going to do this. Pardon me while I jump down. I've got it on a scroll for the people that are here in the room. Okay, 5 bad questions. So some of them are just badly written. I will give you some extra information so that you know. Yep. Didn't know if you can. There we go. Huge. All right. Let's go back to the share. Pardon me. There we go. All right. Bad questions, I'll give you some extra information. There are a couple of additional questions that are out of scope. So we don't train volunteers how to do returns that are out of scope. And so I will tell you what those questions are, why they are out of scope, and what the correct answers are for those questions. And then one of the questions is just wrong. They've got the wrong answer. So I will tell you the right answer and then the right answer. As far as I know, so the IRS knows about these questions. They know what I'm doing here. I don't think they've updated Link and Learn, but if they have, when you get to these, please let me know so that I can update this for everybody else that's going to take it after us. Okay, so question number 1, that's bad. A little bit of information. So on question number 7, you should assume that the twins came to the US with Rick on J2 immigration status on August 10th, 2023. For those of you here in the room, I will have this on replay. For those of you online, this presentation is already posted out in the Moodle, so you can go to that and see these questions. Question number 15, the paper test and the online test are different. So if you've not done anything with the paper test, you're going to be totally fine. Just read that question carefully. If you have done it like I did on the paper test and then you went online, double check the question and the answer. All right, number 19 is one of our bad questions. So 19 asks about a person that has dividends and they are from Canada. So non-resident aliens, dividends are not effectively connected income. They're taxed at 30%. There is a nice little big red box at the top of the 4011 that says, hey, treaty rates are out of scope for the VITA program. In that table down below, it says, oh, hey, but Canada, they might have a deal, 15%. And there's a special requirement that they have to be dividends of an RIC or an REIT, real estate investment trust or regulated investment company. So we don't know what kind of dividends those are. So we don't really know enough to answer the question. And number 2, right, this is out of scope. It should be 30%. We should not care what kind of dividends they are. But that is not the way IRS is grading it. So according to the IRS, the correct answer is B. $0 is taxed at 30%. It's taxed at 15%. So the answer to that one is B, not C. Number 35 is also a bad question. Number 35 says the total amount of the W-2 box 1 wages, salaries, or tips is reported on box 1 on line 1 of the form 1040 NR. True or false? So in this question, Sonia is a student from Bulgaria. She earned $27,000 of wage income. She is entitled to earn $9,000 or exclude $9,000 of income due to the Bulgaria treaty. She doesn't have a 1042S, right? She didn't do her paperwork. That's okay. She still can claim that treaty. So the way to report this is to report that $9,000 on line 1K. Then we make the subtraction and we only report the net amount on line 1, which is the $18,000. So According to Lincoln Learn, the correct answer is true, but reality, the answer is false. She is not going to report that full amount because that's the only way that she can claim her treaty. So if some of you made it all the way through the scenarios, you would know about that one as well. All right, then the next one, the last one, I believe, Jackson entered the US. He is a resident of France. He won $1,200 at a casino. He should report that on the schedule NEC. Gambling income is out of scope. We haven't even talked about it because it is out of scope. Shows it right there on the 4011 table. Now it used to be in scope. Through 2022, it used to be in scope, but they did not update the question since then. So the answer is true. It would get reported on the schedule NEC. So there are 3 questions that you guys are guaranteed to get right and not get wrong because you know what to do or are following the rules. All right.
Excuse me.
Yes.
This is Linda. Did you
Linda?
say that it's reported on the NEC? I thought it went on the Schedule 1.
No, it's not
Gambling
effectively
income.
connected income. It gets reported on the NEC
Ah, okay.
for a non-resident alien.
All righty.
But it's out of scope, so we don't have to worry about it.
Okay, but I should be putting true because that's what
Yeah.
they have. All right,
Yep.
got it. Thanks.
Yep. No worries. All right. So
And Maria,
after you pass, yes. Yeah, Jeff.
on the first of the 3, could you go back to that?
Yeah.
So the correct answer that Lincoln Learn is looking for is B. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. At least that's what they were wanting when I took it. So.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Okay, so after the test is done, you pass. Yay, very good, well done. That's like it's a very big milestone. You should feel very proud. I would recommend you do this even if you're going to certify to the resident test. Go ahead and do this step today, which is to get your volunteer agreement. So you're also going to need to provide a government issued ID, which could be like a driver's license, a passport, or a state ID card. The main thing is that the name on the ID has to match the name on your paperwork. You can show it to me live here, either in person. We can do a breakout room. You can upload it to the Moodle course. You can send me an email. We can do a Zoom, like whatever you want to feel comfortable is fine. I just have to verify it to make sure you're not on the IRS naughty volunteer list. The way you get it, you go click on that volunteer agreement that's at the top. It'll have your certification information. You can put the North International Tax Clinic for the site. Number of years should be at least 1, right? Because you're doing it this year, so that's 1. If you're getting CE credits, you need to make sure you put whatever you are. Say that you're a VITA volunteer and a foreign student site volunteer. And then click and sign, download it, and then you're going to go into the Moodle, add the submission and upload it. And that way we've got all of the versions of it. So I would ask, please don't email me the volunteer agreement. Go ahead and upload it. That way I have a copy that we can always access should the IRS ask for it. Right. Once we get your form and we verify your ID, I will send you the invitations to the spring trainings in this semester. Again, same sort of format, live in Zoom and recordings. We'll also let you into the tax clinic sign up. So those schedule is live. You are welcome to, once you get through this, you can schedule yourself for whatever ones work for you. The minimum/maximum number of volunteers kind of depends based on the format of the event as well as the location. I recommend that you sign up right away so you can have your best choice of events. We do ask if you can to attend 8 events. It's up to you for whatever you want to do. I will remind you that we release appointments to our customers based on your signing up. So if you don't show or if you cancel kind of last minute, that means that either we have to turn people away or all of the other volunteers have to stay extra time to try to help those people. This is what the calendar looks like. Basically choose the type of event, location of event, select the date and time, enter your name and email. You could also enter a phone number if you want to, and you'll get a text message reminder. You will get email reminders as well. I would encourage you to create an account in the scheduling system because then you will see all of your upcoming events. It's very helpful if you send me a note. I don't know when I have it. I will ask you, did you create an account? Because then you can see all of them. There we go, date, whatever. Spring training agenda. We're going to start again on January 21st. Tax software, state taxes, fixing problems like the one for the person in the question on the test. And our tax clinics will start on February 18th. So it will be good. And that is the end of the presentation. So thank you all so much for your hard work this far. Good luck with finals. Have a wonderful winter break. I will be emailing everybody over the course of the winter break, and we'll talk with you soon. And with that, I'm going to stop the recording.